in, just making sure. I think we got sound. So Tommy, good to see you here. First, if you are in attendance or just waiting, but here we are building up the Harry Potter set 75969 Hogwarts Astronomy Tower, 971 pieces, and I had to add a little light to my table so it's easier to see things because there's a lot of these smaller elements that will probably end up building. So we've got the frontal entrance structure here. We've got the greenhouse here. We've got Brick Therapy, our logo. We've got this cool build I showed you yesterday of this chocolate fountain, which is super fun. And then we left off yesterday with this build right here. I think, yeah, finally building up the actual astronomy tower structure. So probably like that point right there. And I think the cool part or the cool finish of everything will be all those spires that you build up here. So 8 minifigures to this set, and I already like the way this is looking. Whoops, looks like I forgot a little slope here. So let me add that. And I got, let's see, I'm finishing up. I got 6 minifigures built. I need to have a stand for them. They're just kind of laying down here, and I got one more minifigure to build up. We can round up all the pieces. So welcome to the live stream. Welcome to BrickTherapy23. Thanks for being here. We've got Alexandria and we've got Tommy. Good to see you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. That's right. Thank you, Tommy. We had a good conversation going yesterday, and I was bummed to end it, but it's always good to finish on a high note. So we got a lot of participation yesterday from John Powell, and Ole was there, and gosh, now I can't think of who all was there, but we're talking, oh, Tanner was there. So yeah, we're talking about the Pixar lamp Lego set, which was a really cool discussion, and it's cool to hear from you guys who know of Lego sets that especially sets that I wouldn't really think of looking at more closely, and I honestly wasn't interested in that set. And then the more and more you guys describe that set, I was thinking that sounds really cool. I always forget the clever add-ons that Lego adds to its those kind of builds, where you think, oh, I'm just building like the Star Wars logo, for example, and then inside or within the build itself are some really cool Easter eggs, you know, like clues or tributes to other themes in that. So yeah, very cool to talk about that. Oh, let's see. Alexandria, hello, good to see you. Alexandria says, I just built the Buggy the Clown brickheads. Nice. Is that from a One Piece, or is that from the One Piece theme, or is it from Stranger Things? Or tell me, I don't know. I'm not associating it right, I don't think. The one and only, welcome. Thanks for being here. Uh-oh, looks like the internet's kind of wonky. Hopefully it's not too delayed there. The one and only, how you doing? Tommy says, I'm getting the little AT-AT walker. Very cool. So if you guys want to join in the chat and give updates about sets you're building, Lego sets you're interested in, and what you've built up so far, or like I was just saying yesterday, Tanner brought up do I have interest in the Disney Pixar Lego build, you know, the Pixar lamp, and I said I wasn't interested in it, but once you guys started describing all the details that go into it and the tribute to all those really popular Disney Pixar movies and the hidden Easter eggs inside that set made me really curious. And then I looked at the set more closely online, and I thought, gosh, of course, it's Lego, so I'm already a Lego fan there. Of course, Lego prices are challenging to say the least as to how long you can sustain your fandom, but nevertheless, that set sounded really cool, and I think it would be a fun build. And I'll have to take a look at it more. Now, speaking of funny sets, I wanted to throw this out here. So my son got me a Ninjago set for Christmas, and so I built that up with you guys on the live stream. Lloyd's Dragon way over here. It's kind of in this sea of Lego sets. It looks probably more organized in person. That the way I'm looking at it from the camera perspective, it looks like quite a mess. But there's a lot of cool Lego sets in that messy table. And then here's a set I never thought I would ever buy, but my daughter gave this one to me. This is I'll have to see how this. Whoops, this is better. I'll have to see how this looks. The pieces are cool. The colors to all the Lego pieces are cool. And if you've ever seen the Disney movie Moana, then you probably would recognize who this is. But it's set 43272, 566 pieces, and it's Hey Hey. So if you've ever seen the Moana movie, since we're talking about Disney and the Pixar set, I figured, you know what? I got something I would have never considered building or purchasing, but it's so fun. And he's a pretty funny character, a very loyal companion, we'll say, to Moana, even though he probably wasn't, you know, the most intelligent creature in the show or in the movie. And then it looks like you get a cool nameplate with his name on there. So the rooster, Hey Hey, from the Moana movie. How fun. So that would be, if anything, if you were to get this, I bet it would go on sale. But if you were to get this set, there's a lot of great color pieces in here you could totally part out. Exactly, right? So if you're a Disney fan, Tommy knows exactly what I'm talking about here. That looks like a fun build. So yeah, so keep the chat going if you want on fun Disney builds and maybe any 2026 updates on Lego sets that you know about. I'm getting alternate builds as well, says Tommy. Please give the likes. Yeah, thank you. If you're watching the chat and you've been listening for a little bit, please leave a like, one and only. You stopped in to say hello, so please leave a like. Don't forget to do that. And yeah, just tell us about your Lego news, your Lego updates. So Alexander built the BrickHead. Alexander, did you answer my question? I wasn't sure. Let me see. So you said you built up the BrickHead. Where did it go? Buggy the Clown, BrickHead. Yeah, so is that from, what theme is that from? And then Tommy's getting the AT-AT Walker, one of those MIDI scale builds, which are really cool. I did the Millennium Falcon in, gosh, when was that? October in our live stream. And that was a great build. So I imagine the AT-AT one will be pretty good too. I built it. It was fun, says Alexander. Very cool. It is one piece. Okay, that's what I was curious about. So it is one piece. Yeah, those one piece sets, the regular sets as well, the Carnival Ride one, and actually all of them look really cool. I would think the pirate ship is probably the most popular, but I don't know. Actually, that was one series of Lego sets when we went to the Lego store, and I said everything was bought out like the day after all the Creel House, the Stranger Things set was released, and the Ninjago sets, and all those really highly anticipated sets, the Speed Champions, DeLorean, and all that. The One Piece series of sets were not. Those were on the shelves. So I don't know if it's run its course or not, but in any case, those builds look really interesting. So maybe we'll be able to find some of those on sale. I'm hoping. I would like to get one of them. I'm not sure which one. I don't know how much investment I want to make in that theme, but either the pirate ship or maybe the smaller one, the Carnival Ride. There's some sets Lego sets or themes you look at, you're like, oh, I'm not going to collect that theme. But then there's just some sets that just the way they look, the build, the color of the bricks and everything really interest me, and it's a set I want. So that's why I got the Harry Potter, a few of these sets, like the Astronomy Tower, which we're building up right now. And then I know Alexandria mentioned this one, the Fortnite Battle Bus. That would be another cool set to get. So yeah, different themes that just kind of catch your eye. Alexandria says, I did build that one. Also, it was fun. So yeah, did you build this one? I assume, Alexander, so you got this one too? And it just, if it's a Lego set, doesn't matter honestly what the theme is. If you get a build and especially if it's a gift, it's gonna be a fun build to be known. Just to be honest with you, whether I buy them all, of course, is a different story. So it's hey hey, exactly. We love the doorstop with the hair, hey hey. That's so fun. Love it. Hey hey, who eats giant rocks and then spits them back out. Little L Bricks is here. Good to see you. Welcome, formerly known as Little Lego, of course. Justin Jago is back. All right, Justin Jago. Good to see all you guys. And what have you guys been up to? Any updates on your side of the world for Lego sets? Sorry, I haven't been here in a while. No worries, Justin Jago. I don't think you've been gone that long, I don't think. That's right, that's okay, you're here now, says Tommy. Awesome. Little L Brick says, I'm doing an all-nighter of my best recent live tonight. How awesome. Very cool. So yeah, when you have the time to talk about Lego, I know Mayo said a few days ago he was going to do a 24-hour live stream. That's so cool. I love the fact, one, that you guys have that kind of time, and then number two, that you can, you're going to share it with everyone else and build some Lego. Very sweet. Okay, so this is where we left off yesterday. With the live stream on building of this Harry Potter astronomy tower. And what is that? It looks like lanterns. It almost looks that almost looks like a Ninjago build right there. So that part is there. You got the broom on the inside, and then it looks like another apothecary kind of lab or table inside. I was thinking that sticker piece was a hourglass, but maybe it has something more to do with, potion and elixir making. So that's where we are on the astronomy tower, somewhere in the vicinity of this base section here, and then it looks like we're working our way up. And overall, I would sum up this build as equivalent of a lighter form or more affordable form of a modular build. You get a lot of these, or you get a few of these. I don't, a lot would maybe is exaggerating, but you get quite a few of these. Yeah, just these creative accessory builds. This chocolate fountain I can't get enough of. I think that's so fun. And then of course you get the minifigures. Get all these fun minifigures with different torsos and like this latest one building up here, Hermione. And you get the two-face expression, you get the cool torsos, the dual molded print, and a ton of fun hair pieces. So you get all these minifigs. There's 8 of these, and they just look they're so colorful and great. And I think it was M&R made a really good point yesterday. He was critiquing those new Lego smart bricks. Have you guys heard of those? They're supposed to be interactive kind of with the Lego set, so there's sound effects and I guess a smart brick in the sense like if it's a Star Wars set, you build in the smart brick and it kind of senses if you're the swoosh factor on a TIE fighter or something, you can move it and it'll make the ship flying through space sound. But it sounded like they're pretty weak. But in any case, he also made a good point. Like it's, the reason why a lot of people like Lego is simply for the fact, like the builds are always cool, right? The structures are always cool. But we also know that the distinctive with Lego, of course, are the minifigures, right? Back to back. Whoops. Don't abuse your minifigures. The minifigures, like these help make the set, the build. And, going all the way back to when you were a kid, when I got a couple Lego sets as a kid, the yellow Lego castle with all the knights and all the guards that went with that set, or classic Lego space and the astronauts and the different colored uniforms or spacesuits they had, the yellow, the white, the red, the blue. I don't know if green was in there yet, but yeah, just that alone makes it such a fun collectible toy, and now more than that, a toy, just a series of building sets that you like to collect. And so obviously I do, because I have this huge collection behind me. So a lot of fun stuff there. So Justin Jago says, yes, good job, Little Bricks. Little Brick says, it's about time. I'm doing some collabs with smaller channels tomorrow evening and Sunday, says Little Bricks. Very fun. And Nift Eebs is here. Nift Eebs is here. Good to see you again, Nift Eebs. Welcome back. Got 3 mods in the no, 4. 4 mods. Oh my gosh. How can I miss that? You'll be great, says Tommy. Or you'll be great, says Alexandria to Tommy. Very cool. The best way to EGTUs your doing your live for the first time is to go on a panel with someone. Oh, that would be a fun idea. Yeah, it'd be fun to like share in the live stream with other people. Gotta go, have school in 2 hours. Justin Jago, thanks for being here, man. Leave a like. Make sure we know that you're here. You joined the chat, leave a like as well. Thanks for being here, Justin Jago. All right, so let me work on what I think might be the next platform. So this kind of gives me an idea right here, or I'll just show it. The footprint of the side tower that will, I think, be the base for this tower part that comes out this side. So that's, I was curious how that's gonna look. And then I think as I was building up this section, you can kind of see like they're gonna probably overlap with each other, and then that side tower will come out right here, which again, just some fun ideas, techniques, or not that you need to try and come up with your own design, but if you do design your own Lego modular or Lego building, you get some ideas of how to make the structure obviously architecturally interesting or just aesthetically appealing. So that's pretty fun, and it's fun to see this working out. My panel is always an open panel, says Little Bricks. Very cool. Amy Montague says war, and Little Elbrick says someday maybe Brick Therapy can come on my panel as a special guest. Haha, that would be fun, Little Elbricks. I know you've thrown out the invite before, and yeah, I got to figure out, I guess, what's the best way to communicate with you guys. I'm assuming through, well, we can direct message someone. I'm assuming through Discord, but we'll have to figure something out, Little Bricks. As you guys know, I tend to live stream every day, mostly in the evening, and it works out best for me, but I don't know if that works out best for you guys. Amy says, I meant what's up, dude. Did not mean to say that. Thanks, Amy. I was like, wow, what is going on? Is there some headline news? Although it's probably not too far from reality. So I didn't want to go further on that one. Yeah, email, Discord, sounds good, Little Bricks. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know if any of you guys do. Do you have for you, Little L Bricks, do you have an email that's is just specific to your YouTube channel so that no one can spam you and stuff like that? We have a friend who has a YouTube channel. I should ask them what, I know they have their email attached to their YouTube about page, so anyone can see it. I don't know if that's the best idea or if it matters. I guess maybe it's kind of the equivalent of having a post office box, so you keep your privacy, you're not doxing yourself or anything like that. But it would be really good to communicate with you guys in a more direct fashion. Discord is, I guess, possible. I'm not very good about checking Discord. Little Brick Therapy, my son, does a little better with that. So in any case, yeah, we'll have to figure out something, because that would be really cool to figure out some kind of way to join your panel, Little Bricks. That would be really fun. So my email is on my channel, says Little L Bricks. Oh, okay, cool. I'll go on there and find it. That'll be easy. It'll still say Little Lego, no worries. have one just for the channel. So Tommy also endorsing that idea. Yeah, so I'll have to do something like that where it's not attached to the YouTube account. Because I heard if you, like if I said I have an email that's for Brick Therapy, but it's also the YouTube channel account, you know, people could basically, I don't know how, I wouldn't be able to how to figure out, but you know, people can basically corrupt that email and possibly do something to your channel. So that's why I was like hesitant to do that. But I guess if it's a separate independent email that is not directly related to the channel, other than just a point of contact, that might work. Have just one for the channel. Little L Brick says it'll be changed soon, but we'll keep the same server. Okay, so when it does change, it'll be little underscore L underscore bricks. All right. Well, I will assume that if I refer back to this chat, it'll still be little Lego. Or I can just change it now while we're talking about it. Or you can do that. Sounds good. Little L bricks, love it. And my favorite part about these modular builds, they're so fun, is, okay, of course, food builds are always fun, right? And then the other cool part is, you know, this is, I guess, this speaks to the playability of Lego sets, you know. Then you build a bunk bed for, the minifigure, right? So fun. You got the pillow and the blanket and all that, and so you got like a bunk bed set up for your minifig, which is pretty cool. And then of course the best part is, I think the last example of it was the modular that we built, the Jazz Club. I think I put it into the other one, the other modular I built, and now I can't think of it. But it seems like all the modulars, well, I know Ninjago does this too with the larger builds, is you build a bathroom with a toilet and toilet paper and all that stuff. It's just hilarious. I love that. So yeah, just building all these things, lots of fun details to add or just appreciate as you build up your set. So if you are listening in the background and you like Lego, you like collecting Lego, you like everything about Lego, building it, of course, please leave a like, subscribe, whoops, join the channel, and I can't knock that guy off. That's my sig fig. Join the Brick Therapy channel, become one of the Brick Therapy community, and then to a greater extent, part of the Lego collecting community. And I don't know about you guys, so Alexandria or Tommy or Little L Bricks, do you like that term, AFOL, AFOL, adult fan of Lego? I was thinking about that earlier, and I think maybe some of you have told me you don't like that term. I'm thinking it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't like the sound of it. I know it's pretty prevalent now, and that's what's been used for quite a while. I think I first heard the term actually watching a documentary about Lego itself. The documentary that you could find on YouTube about the sort of kind of the hiring process of hiring a Lego designer. But they also did like side stories of other people, adult fans of Lego who collect Lego and all that. So yeah, that's where I first heard the term AFOL, but I don't know. There's got to be a better term than that. It's just, it could just be misconstrued. So yeah, anyway, just something that came to mind as I was talking here. Everything has a bathroom now, says John Powell. John Powell, welcome back. Good to see you here. John Powell says Molloy Manor has a bathroom. Aha, there we go. The builds are the best part, and the talk's in the chats, or the talk is in the chats. Yes. So I think it's very practical. You got to provide, you know, bedding and a place for the minifigs to live in, assuming if they were, you know, regular everyday lives for these individuals. And of course, they exist in the storyline or the theme that you're building. And so it's fun to emulate all that, of course, in the Lego build. Why else would people build up a Lego city? Include all these details, living rooms, pictures, calendars, laboratories, offices. You even got, you know, this is used in pretty much almost all Lego sets. The letter with the stamp, the seal, and all those cool bottles and goblets and drinking and candle lit lanterns and candelabras and chocolate fountains. You gotta have the bathroom as well. So it's just fun. It's clever how they do that. I like that mostly how they use the side or door panel from old Lego City builds as the roll of toilet paper. The builds are the best part. Exactly, Tommy. Love Lego. Fans can be little kids to adults, but we all love Lego. Exactly. That's exactly why, right, Alexander? It says 9 plus. So we all qualify as the plus part. And you know, you get to the modulars, it's a little more dignified. It's like 16 plus or maybe 17 plus. And it's funny, I saw, if you guys are familiar with older movies like Mary Poppins, like the original Mary Poppins, the Disney movie Mary Poppins, and oh, what was the other one? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But you know, the main actor in that, Dick Van Dyke. So he turned 100, I guess, this year. 100 years old. So seemingly going strong, which is really cool. But somebody made fun of the fact, like, Dick Van Dyke can't build Lego anymore. He's gone past the age limit. I think one of the Lego sets, like, it's like from 0 to 99. I don't remember what Lego set shows that, but apparently, you know, now he can't build Lego anymore. But all that to say, just making fun of the fact that, yeah, you can, you know, Lego building or brick building in general, tap into that creative side, or just that, whatever it is, that appeal. Like, and I think the best part is rediscovering your interest in something you had as a kid, which is it's kind of like riding a bike. You know, maybe you haven't ridden a bike for a while, you learned as a kid, and then you get back on the bike and you're like, oh, it's like riding a bike. I never forgot how to ride a bike. It just comes back to you naturally. So I remember when, you know, I got back into Lego with my kids when they were smaller, and looking at those instructions again, you know, the step-by-step instructions and the bricks you use, and you just go from page to page, and you kind of remember the challenge of, you know, did I follow the instructions correctly? Did I make a mistake? Did I miss a detail? And then you know, you finish the set, whatever it is, whether it's a 100-piece set, a small poly bag, or thousands of piece set, like one of these kind of builds, actually more than this. But you just think about how fun, or you're reminded of how fun that challenge is, and that you can still put together these models or these builds and just enjoy, whether you want to call it creative or just like a thought, an escape, a form of, or an outlet, just to be creative or be productive in a way that's entertaining. It brings you joy. I think that's the key. If it brings you joy, then all of that comes back. And, you know, why not do it as a grown-up? Of course, the challenging part now is trying to limit yourself and buy the sets you really want wisely, because Lego has definitely tapped into the psyche of older fans, and boy, are they spending money on Lego. Let's see, Tommy says, lots of laughs. I have the same problem. Exactly. John Powell says, autocorrect hates names and words from Harry Potter. Oh, that is interesting. Tommy says, I just watched the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yeah, that one, kind of not a direct correlation, but kind of a fun follow-up to the style and storytelling of Mary Poppins, with all the clever dancing and clever songs that go with it. Have they? I don't think anyone's ever proposed. Maybe they have a Lego idea set for that movie. That would be fun. Alexandria says, "Yep, wow, he's still alive. Yeah, he is. I did not know that. Yeah, over 100, I want to say, even." Dr. Doolittle push me, pull you. There's another one. John Powell says, we didn't have real sets and instructions when I was little, just loose bricks and imagination. Oh, yes, very cool. Yeah, so if you go back in time in history, the first Lego sets, I'm pretty sure if I go back even further, because my first set, at least preserved Lego set, is the yellow Lego castle that we have. I got in the mid 80s, but I had an older Lego set that actually the minifigures, they weren't like they are or they have been for the longest. It was just like a yellow faceless head and then like a torso build, but no movable legs or arms or anything like that. And yeah, the bricks were, I think, kind of like if you bought one of those classic Lego sets where it's just bricks, colored bricks, and then you can build whatever you want. I think that's pretty much all there was. But yeah, John Powell saying even before that, no instructions, just bricks. Very cool. That Lego Kid says hello. Welcome, Lego Kid. Matthew says something. I'm not sure. Can I have that? Matthew, here, I'll offer you a look at the chocolate fountain. I love this build, by the way. It's so cool to do these side builds. And I was saying yesterday, I don't know, maybe it is easier than I was thinking, but I don't know how easy it is to get these kind of accessory pieces, these from Lego, like the chalices or goblets, or the maybe easier to get the food looking type of colored or printed bricks. But when you put it all together like this, and I love the fact that they use the classic space radar dishes. They do that often, of course, in these sets, but I just love that those are side builds that you can put together. Tommy says they did a Mary Poppins a long time ago. Oh, they did a Mary Poppins Lego set. I did not know that. Alexandria says yes. Hello, and of course, yeah, if you want Lego, you can go buy some Lego. John Powell says, just red or white, 2x2 pieces or 2x4 bricks. So yeah, very straightforward brick pieces. And now it's gone well beyond that. You get printed brick pieces, you get specialized brick pieces, arched ones, sloped ones, curved ones, rounded ones. But then I think about it too. When I got a classic space set, they were already had quite a lot of these bricks you still see. I mean, these reverse type of slope pieces, I remember these being I was pretty much in awe of these kind of pieces because, the studs went out a different way or at an angle, which I thought was cool. And I don't know what are these more curved pieces weren't around yet, but the plate, the flat plate pieces, or those radar dish ones, those were all already in classic space. So there's quite a few brick pieces already out. But yeah, as more and more, as the decades went by, the type of Lego pieces that have been designed, and I don't think it's really taken away from the build experience at all. It's just made, obviously now you can build these really amazing sets well beyond just this astronomy tower, but like anything you see behind me, basically, right? You can build an upscale minifigure, you can build skyscrapers, bridges, ships like the Barracuda Bay or the El Dorado Fortress there. So yeah, just a ton of themes and sets now with all these different pieces. But it is fun to look back and see what Lego started from. I gave my younger son, we did a video on him building the yellow Lego castle from the 1980s set I had and using the old school instructions. I know I've mentioned this before, but it was fun to see what he thought about using the older instructions, where it was more observing the changes from page to page and not, very, very specific step-by-step, instructions like this, where you get these specific bricks, then you put them together like this, and then you combine them all in the middle picture. So yeah, definitely a lot more detail back then, or less detail, I should say, back then, but more observation and patience probably to see or to make sure you do the build correctly. So, all right, so a lot of speaking of detail, I don't want to miss anything here. Gonna skip a step because I get caught up in the topic. But yeah, so we were talking yesterday also about the fun sets that do come out that I don't know if it's something I described as a theme to talk about, but now it just made me think. Like I showed the Hey Hey build, right? This guy I got for Christmas. I would have never thought of getting this set, but it was a fun gift for my daughter. And then Tanner brought up, and a lot of you guys said, yeah, the Pixar lamp is a great build too. And I thought, when I saw that set, I'm like, just why? It's cool that you can build a desk lamp out of Lego, but it's just not interesting to me. But then when you guys described it further with all those different details that go into it, and then you think about all the themes from when Disney really made good movies back in the day. Some fun details in the build itself. And yeah, so I was curious, what are some, not the sets that get all the news and all the attention that are really cool that are out there. I guess maybe the Pixar set got some attention. After all, it is a kind of an iconic logo for that studio of movies. But yeah, nothing like the ones that, it's release day and people are waiting in line for necessarily, but just all the other sets that are out there. I got you John, red and white. What's for a trade? Tommy, that was almost 60 years ago. Yeah, old school bricks. Oh yeah, Tommy, that's right. 13 Easter eggs in that Pixar lamp set. And then, yeah, you guys gave me some clues as to what they were. And I couldn't even remember all the Pixar movies or Disney Pixar movies that were in that could be used as Easter eggs. So it was fun to be reminded of those. Toy Story probably being one of the most famous of those movies. But yeah, there's of course other ones too. So I'll have to take a look at that. Speaking of Disney though, when we went to the Lego store and then we're just pretty not shocked, but just somewhat bewildered. Is that a good word to use? I went there with my kids. How cleaned out the Lego store was of all the big expensive sets, and then the craze for the Stranger Things set and a couple other sets. But that was kind of like what has gotten into people's minds, man. They're like, I thought I was a Lego fan, but there's some people out there, they're like, salivating for these sets or something. But yeah, there's other cool sets. Alexander, that's right. The Da Vinci flying machine, a really unique set if you're interested. I've seen that a few times. I don't know if it always catches my eye in the Lego store, but I don't see it too often. So I wonder if it's hard to find, I guess, is the way to describe it. Probably the best is to get that one online. I actually thought that, Alexander, the Da Vinci flying machine was a gift with purchase. I didn't think of that as being an actual set that you could buy. But yeah, I've seen that one. That one looks really cool. The Trevi fountain, thinking of architecture sets, that one really is interesting. And this is the one that from the Disney theme. This is a big purchase if you were to get it. But that Beauty and the Beast castle, that didn't really catch my eye when it came out. And then we went there, it didn't have any attention at the Lego store, which I don't know. Go figure. It has Disney characters and everything, but the build looks really cool. I like the design of it. It's kind of a more whimsical looking castle build, and of course it has the fun minifig characters from the movie. So yeah, I don't know. It's really cool to appreciate the variety of sets and then take a closer look at some of those that aren't so famous or, I don't know, attract as much attention. Okay, updated the email about my page 2 says Little Bricks. Okay, so it sounds like it'll be on your YouTube page, so it'll be easy to find, Little Bricks. Very cool. Chris Vick is here. Chris Vick is in the past. You need to go in the DeLorean, Chris Vick. Happy New Year 2019. That was a good year for Lego. That was like my second year of getting into Lego collecting. I think that must have been when I got Ninjago City. I want to say it was 2019. So cool. That was a good set for Lego. The Voltron set was out at that point, one of those Lego Ideas sets, and all the cool Marvel sets, in my opinion, were released then. So yeah, I'll say Happy New Year 2019. So Chris Vick, hello again. I had to create a new email that connected to my original email. John Powell says, my Walmart still had over 2/3 or more of their Lego sets at Christmas. So which ones were they, John Powell? Because it seems like, at least looking at the social media page by the old adult Lego collectors, there weren't many sets available, at least where we are. Whether it was Walmart or just looking at Target or something like that, a lot of stuff was bought up. There were some sets. I'm surprised, actually, the Dark Falcon. That one has been on sale. I thought that set would continue to be more popular, or maybe Lego actually made enough for people to buy. Tommy says my Walmart had about 1/4 of what it should have. Yeah, ours is pretty cleaned out, and I don't like the fact that the Walmart we go to has everything behind those security kind of plexiglass doors now. It's just depressing. Before, you could just look at the sets, look at the box, take a look at everything. So I guess it's just a sign of the times, which is a bummer. Jace says, hey, Jace, welcome back, Jace. Good to see you, man. Jace Hayes is here. John Powell says, yeah, everything was still in stock, basically. Well, that would be a fun one to go to. If you go to a Walmart where they have all, they aren't all bought out or cleaned out, or they're just not resupplying, because where I am, stuff is cleaned out, or I don't know, I guess whoever they are, maybe it's the scalpers or whatever. These people, they just go and buy stuff, and if you see something, at least you just see the sale sticker, but the sets are gone. I don't know when people get word of things, or if it's the employees that buy up stuff or what, but can rarely find anything at our Walmart, and anything that's like a good deal, basically. So kind of a bummer. And I was hoping to at least see, that Walmart for sure would have some of the either the DeLorean or the Lightning McQueen one. But yeah, I mean, if Legos sold out of those darn things, then I guess everyone else will be too. Or the Ninjago sets, or yeah, anything that's not a Lego exclusive. I was thinking that, there might be a chance to get some of those sets easily, but I don't know. I guess, or not necessarily easily, but within a reasonable amount of time, not like it's sold out and weeks go by before it'll be available again. All right, just put 2 stickers on this next level of the astronomy tower. So let's see if I'm building up here to the next floor. So a very cool looking bed chamber now, with the half arched wall there, the bunk beds for some of the students that attend Hogwarts. So I'm kind of unclear as to, I guess I should read the stories. Why is there a dorm room and a giant chocolate fountain, for example, or a greenhouse at the astronomy tower? What is going on at the astronomy tower? I need to, I guess, be more informed on the story, like be fully informed, because I haven't read the stories at all. But nevertheless, fun part of the build that continues here. Tommy says, I'm not that young. Lots of laughs. No worries. Yeah. So John Powell says everything was still in stock, basically. Jace Hayes going for the emoji. Or is that popcorn emoji? Nice, Jace Hayes, leaving a sign that he's hanging out for the chat, or just hanging out for the live stream. Glad to have you guys here. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you're watching in the background, and if you just like Lego, if you like Lego Harry Potter, or if you like talking about Lego, new Lego sets coming out for 2026, then join in the chat or just leave a like, and we'll talk about these topics and see what you guys think. For 2026 sets, I know I've kind of gone over this before. I don't really know. I mean, there's some sets I'm interested in that have been released this year. Probably at the top of that list is the Ninjago Blacksmith House, and then the smaller Ninjago Podium build, the DeLorean, the Speed Champions DeLorean, and maybe the Lightning McQueen, which when you guys describe these sets with your enthusiasm behind it, that kind of makes me go, oh, maybe I need to take a look at that set more closely. And now I'm thinking about a Pixar lamp, which I never thought I would even consider buying, but the way you guys describe the details, that's gonna be fun. Tommy says, I just got my Lego vacuum. Yes, cleaner for dusting my Legos, and it's great. Okay, so Tommy, you have one, you actually used it. Nice. Is it the one that I've seen advertised where it's like called Clean My Bricks or something? Or is it just, the one I got was, I looked at an equivalent type of vacuum, and it's just something I think you could just use for your computer as well, like to vacuum up the keyboard. But I gotta test it out and clean it. Got, the attachment brushes and everything to kind of wipe off the dust as well. Which reminds me, I do have to break out the Ninjago City set and rebuild that, and yeah, use that vacuum cleaner. So rebuild and re-inventory that set. Gotta make sure all the pieces are still there. Some sections of it I've knocked into and hastily put back on the build, but it's not probably the best. So that is gonna end up in a live stream at some point where I, build Ninjago City, and why not? My favorite Lego set of all time. I need to prove that by taking care of it and actually maybe building it with you guys on a live stream. So got some fun ideas, and then of course got some sets in the backlog. No 2026 sets though. So 2026 sets, as I was saying, what would interest me the most in terms of a wish list would definitely be the Ninjago sets that have come out, the Blacksmith House and the main character stand, or whatever it's called. Those sets seem really fun, but they're new and they'll be out for a while. So my 2026 goal might continue to be me just talking about, and maybe at some point getting a UCS set. So I would love to, be part of that group of Lego collectors that actually puts together a UCS set. But that requires a lot of funds to do so. So I'll have to strategically take care of that. Of course, I've already talked about, when you buy one of those big sets and, you want the full experience. If you're going to buy it new through Lego, use it or buy it when there's double VIP points, when there's a gift with purchase, maybe possibly a sale. Although I don't know if those UCS sets go on sale too often. Oh, I guess they do. Yeah, what am I thinking? The Razor Crest one, but that's close to retiring. So basically I'm thinking of the UCS Millennium Falcon in particular. And I know I've mentioned the Death Star one even. But if that UCS Millennium Falcon actually does retire this year, I wonder if they will put it on sale at all. But that is taking a big risk and competing against a lot of people who will be ready to make the buy before I can even turn on my computer. Tommy says, I got my Lego vacuum for a car detailing and keyboards for $30. Yes. Okay. So Tommy, you went along the same idea as I did. Not that supposed Clean My Bricks one. Alexander says, which brand? And Tommy says the vacuum service at Outlook. Okay, there we go. Got a lot of, we didn't even get endorsed for that, Tommy. We just advertised their product. So, and it sounds like it works out really good, really well. So I'll have to look at that. All right, so yes, we do have the astronomy tower, the next level going in here. Kind of this part right here is that. So And this being less than 1,000 pieces, it definitely is a fun build, and you can pretty much blow through this build and enjoy the detail as well without being buried in a ton of small Lego pieces and 30 bags of like a build like a modular does. But at the same time, experience, in my opinion, quite a lot of what you would building a modular because of the structure here. It's obviously a simpler form of doing that, but with the accessory builds or the side builds and some of the structural parts, definitely not as hard, but same effect in many ways. So this was a great buy, and this was a set I got on sale right before it retired. So that made it nice as well. And speaking of fun builds, let me show you this here in a minute. Looks like I'm building up kind of a fun writing desk with ink, an ink quill, a feather and ink quill, like a old school form of writing, and a candle, a gold candle and flame to, signify some pretty serious studying that would go really well if you wanted to modify this a little bit and add it to a castle or medieval city type build, because this type of detail right here looks so cool. All right, so this is going on a writing desk in the dorm room of the astronomy tower on the side here. So right there next to the bunk beds, you get to add this side build. Again, fun details, less complex than you would get in a modular build, but just there you go, just the detail there. That looks, these are the kind of things when I see it, especially in a review or something, there we go, it's clear. And you see something like this all built up, and it just makes you want to build it and end up with a set like this. So it's very cool to have. I will say you will be very happy with it, says Tommy. Yes, the Lego vacuum. Cleaning up your Lego sets, a very important aspect of Lego collecting, which I'm not very good at. I tend to build, let it sit out there for a while. Of course, the dust collects, and then eventually take the build, the structure down, and then wipe it off. But that's not the best, because then all the dust stays in, like all in between all the little crevices and splits between inside the Lego pieces. And yeah, it's definitely not the same. I think the vacuum will come quite in handy. So I'll have to, I got one also, not the brand that's advertised, just a computer keyboard type brand, and see how well it works. That was a Christmas gift actually from last year. So now I've got a couple things to take advantage of related to Lego collecting and taking care of your sets. Got to take care of your sets. This is a cool, I don't think I've seen actually this color for, well, maybe this lime green color has come with a friend set, but I don't think I've really seen this color. It doesn't seem familiar. It's like a sort of a unique lime green color, but here we go. We've got possibly since it's Harry Potter, a spell or a magic book, or a magic, what are they, when they have all their list of magic spells or whatever. So anyway, the color, very fun. All right, so this also goes in that dorm room. And of course, if you were watching this at all, then you see the desk area there with the feather and ink and the letter, and the book, the nice cool spell book, slides right into this shelf right there with, oops, got the cover sticking out into this shelf right here. Voila, how fun. Another cool aspect of the build. Definitely a lot of fun playability there. A little book nook for the uh, astronomy tower. Okay, so finishing up this second part of the tower, the second level, I guess, the middle level. And I can show this off to you guys as well. I'm having issues getting the right direction of things. I don't know why. Okay, so that way. Oh, I must have, oh yeah, I did. Again, forgot a level of, let's see, gotta reorient everything here. Forgot a level of flat plates before I put on the roof. So that's one thing that's challenging that I've done quite often with the live streams is trying to keep track of the build as well as the conversation. But it's fun to show you guys the detail bit by bit or Lego brick piece by Lego brick piece and see how everything's turning out. And then, you know, I'll refer back to these live streams and kind of see where the build itself actually became super challenging or interesting or something just to refer back to in general. And then, all right, there we go. Love the, of course that was a sticker piece, but love the curved part of the astronomy tower. And then of course the mesh windows. And then it looks like I'm gonna add, whoops, I'm gonna add something here to this side of the jumper bricks. And then of course the bunk beds and the desk and book nook. This thing fell out. It doesn't stick in. That's the only thing when you build up a lot of these modular type of builds. You got to figure out where or how to secure some of those minifig accessories so you don't lose them. It's the only thing that, like I was building the assembly square, where to put all this stuff. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna put all the minifigures on here just to show them off. And then I got quite a lot of, there's a lot of extra pieces. I think I skipped something because I have a chair here and a corner flat plate piece that I think belongs somewhere specifically. Whoops, I'm gonna give Hermione the owl. There we go. It's blocking her face. Oh well. But yeah, so far we've got 7 minifigures. Looks like we got 1 left. But again, just the torsos, the faces, everything. You know, if you're not a Harry Potter fan, but you just like the build, the set, definitely worth having. So that's a cool part of the build. And then I'm not sure, where does the chocolate fountain go? I keep showing up. Oh, that's okay. So this just goes outside. So I guess if you go to the Harry Potter School of Magicianship, sorcery or whatever, you get fed pretty well. At least you get a chocolate fountain. And then a lot of cool accessory pieces that, you know, you can, I know a lot of people ask, what do you do with all these extra pieces? I mean, there's so many, such a variety of extra pieces, like, you know, hair pieces and round pieces and cupcake pieces and whatnot. So it's a good question. You end up with a whole Tupperware full of them. So I know someone asked that and some people say, oh, I just keep it in a plastic container and store it. I'm thinking, I think Lego does buy back bricks, which I don't know if it's that good a deal, or maybe bring them to Bricks and Minifigs and do something. But yeah, they're so small, the pieces, you can't obviously build too much with it. Yeah, it's looking great. Thanks, Alexandria. Okay, gonna be doing some all-nighter streaming soon. All right, Little L Bricks, very cool. And Tommy says they go in the box. Exactly. You just put them back in the box. So let's see here. I feel like, oh, I did. Okay. Not only does the green book go in here and it keeps falling out because I keep picking this up, but you get what I would say is one printed piece, like a newspaper plate. Very cool with the details there. What does it say? I can read that. That's a newspaper about someone, Polyprofit, maybe? Polyprofit. The boy who lived, or something like that. And probably, you guys can probably easier to see. Of course, it's backwards here, but it actually has a headline you can read. So there's that. That goes in with the green spell book. So maybe that'll wedge the two in there so they fit in there like that. And then one other piece I forgot was the chair. How did I miss this? They didn't show me where this goes. There's a chair, a desk piece. So it must go in the bedroom here somewhere. That's funny. I don't see it in any of the instructions. But anyway, I ended up with this chair. Maybe when I get to the last bag 6 coming up soon. All right. Well, it's a good time to sign off. Thanks, you guys. A full hour went by just like that. Thanks for joining the live stream. And we'll finish. Looks like we'll have one level here, the finale, the spires to build up tomorrow. The daily profit. Thank you, John Powell. I could not see that. So yeah, we'll build up bag 6 tomorrow, and hopefully catch up with you guys again soon. Thanks for being here and joining in the live stream.